being with him for so many years, it's amazing to see a kid from a man to a grown man.
As they were going to announce this fight initially, DV allegations dropped. Tank was arrested, and it was once again put in doubt.
Before the fight was canceled on Monday after a civil lawsuit filed by ex-girlfriend Courtney Rozelle accused Davis of battery and aggravated battery.
Calvin Ford broke down in tears during a live stream after learning about Gervonta Davis's arrest. He spoke about their long road together, from tough beginnings to becoming champions, and shared how he watched Tank grow into a strong young man. Ford's voice shook as he described how painful it is to see everything crumble now. The moment overwhelmed him, as he came to terms with the heartbreaking end of what once seemed like an unstoppable journey for them both.
And it's crazy. That's why I said this, you can't write this, man. You cannot write this. My experience being gone, and all the stuff that I went through, preparing me for where I'm at today. You know, and Tank is older. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do, take us the rest of the way. And this is just take us the rest of the way.
Gervonta Davis has been surrounded by controversy several times throughout his career. Earlier this year, the mother of his children accused him of mistreatment, though the case was eventually dropped. Not long after, another woman filed a separate lawsuit, adding even more pressure and public attention. Even with the first case dismissed, these back-to-back legal issues have affected his reputation and kept him in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Many people point out that when you're a high-profile athlete, personal problems rarely stay private. No matter how successful you are in the ring, you're still open to criticism, legal trouble, and public judgment. In today's world, fans and the boxing community look at more than just a fighter's performance, they also pay close attention to personal behavior. For Davis, these incidents show that achievements alone can't protect an athlete from the impact of public scrutiny. It highlights how difficult it can be to keep both personal life and career on the right track.
Roach rematch never happened. The Paul camps still thought Tank is a big enough name regardless of his previous result to go ahead with this bout. But just as they were going to announce this fight initially, DV allegations dropped. Tank was arrested, and it was once again put in doubt. Then the charges were dropped. A week later, they announced the event. So that kind of brings us to today. This event hasn't been smooth sailing so far, and it was almost destined that there would end up being a few more bumps in the road before we actually saw the two facing off. And about as big of a bump as you could really get has now hit the promotion. A civil suit has been filed against Tank, in which his ex-girlfriend accuses him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. While it was also reported by ESPN that a report has been filed additionally with the Miami Gardens Police Department last Tuesday. However, as I'm recording this, there's yet to be any criminal charges. Now, these alleged incidents happened last month, which was after the announcement of the fight. You would think if you're Tank on the verge of the biggest payday he's ever gotten, he would be doing anything to stay out of trouble, yet he continues to find himself in negative situations again and again. But in saying all of this, everything at the moment is very much alleged, and I'm not really here to talk about the validity of these claims. What I am here to talk about though is the impact this might have on the boxing event in a couple weeks time. Now, Tank vs Paul, love or hate the idea of it, was definitely one of the most viewed fights of the year. Although there are rumors of there being poor ticket sales, the at-home audience...
Roy Jones Jr. said that Gervonta Davis has been dealing with personal challenges for quite a while, and this new lawsuit has only made things harder. He pointed out that all of this is happening right when Davis was preparing for a major fight with Jake Paul, creating an especially stressful moment in his career. Jones mentioned that many people in the boxing world were already aware of Davis's past problems, so the situation isn't surprising, but it still carries a heavy impact. With the fight now cancelled, Davis is facing even more pressure, as he must handle public criticism along with the disappointment of losing a major opportunity.
Oh, it didn't work out. Just what were your thoughts on that whole thing?
Man, I really don't want to even have much to say about that, because everybody take it the bad way. But all I'm gonna say is this: Jake Paul knew what it was when he first signed the fight. This ain't the first time he had battery against a woman. You knew what it was when you first signed the fight. So don't get mad and cuss him out and talk bad about him now. You knew what it was when you signed up for it. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that. I don't talk bad about him either. But don't do the dude like that. No, the dude having a hard time in his life right now. Don't just do him like that. You know what I mean? Because you knew exactly what he was when you signed him to fight the first time. All I gotta say.
Tank's team has kind of been bringing that, like, talking about just some of Jake's past, and more kind of said that Jake said he's actually afraid to fight Tank. I mean, do you think it leaned a little more on that side, and they're just selling it the other way?
I already know what it is. Like I said, I already know. I'll get into it, but we all know when young guys go through issues. That's